You often see the West Country's lanes or rolling landscapes depicted on the walls of the Shaftesbury Arts Centre Gallery during exhibitions, but not this week. You'll connect with the excitement Bourton-based artist Joe DeMar feels when backpacking or travelling around the world's greatest cities. He's captured the vibrancy of urban life through three themes he's applied to the pieces he has on display.
Automation, movement and heat is the theme for this, and it's just a good way of encompassing a lot of things I'm interested in, and I can include things like transport. A lot of my paintings include cars and planes and cities, which are all hot spaces in my mind because they're all very cramped and just very automated and always moving.
And Joseph's creative skills extend beyond visual art.
In live sound, so there's a lot of automations in that, and although you can't see it in front of me, there's a bunch of machines, so it's very reflective in my work because these are things I'm passionate about.
Beside him on the desk in the Arts Centre Gallery, Joseph had a small mixing console, the sort you might see at a disco, its buttons glowing in different colours. Beside it, a second unit. Technology's moved on. You don't need record players anymore.
They're sequencers which you put sounds in and synthesize things in, and you create music through just pressing buttons and then recording them in, and then you have complete control over when each bit gets played. And all three, I've got three of them, and they all work together in harmony. It's quite an interesting thing.
So it's like a mixture of, I suppose, well beyond before your time, like the stuff that Mike Oldfield used to do with layering tracks, meets a loop pedal with a synthesizer.
Yeah, it's exactly that, and they're perfect for electronic music, which is sort of my discipline, I guess. And it's a good alternative to DJing, which is something I can't do.
There's very much a kind of, I'd say sort of New York, Chicago vibe about your work. You've got buildings seen from a river. It could be the Hudson. It could be improvised on a New York skyline. You've got another one of those images of a street scene with high buildings. It's abstract, so you can't make out the detail of the buildings, but what you can see is the streaks of red, almost like the tail lights of the cars. It's very much about movement. It's very urban, isn't it, for somebody who lives in Bourton?
Yeah. Although I get to, something I like to do is travel to random cities for not really any reason at all, except just to sort of look at them. So I do have experience of going to these places, and I think I take them in more deeply, being from somewhere so rural, whereas if I lived in a city, I'd probably just become numb to it and paint pictures of the countryside.
Joseph showed me what he believed was his most challenging piece to produce.
There's this one I've got just there. If I can describe it, it's sort of a city scene with every colour you could possibly imagine, except infrared maybe.
To me, I see that as a wet street at night, and the pavement, the tarmac, is capturing the glow of the buildings, and there's a sunset behind it, but it's quite vibrant, it's quite colourful.
Perfect, then I've done my job. That's exactly what I was going for, so that's good, and that's the most probably out there one. So,
is it a real place you've been, or is it in your head?
I painted it as soon as I came back from London for a few days, and I didn't take any photos or remember anything. It was just sort of capturing an essence of a place, maybe a city.
It's interesting because I would have said that was London, and not because there's no distinctive buildings, there's no St Paul's Cathedral or anything in it, but the buildings are quite contemporary, but they're not high-rise, whereas on the other side of the art gallery, I suspect that's New York, isn't it, or Chicago, or some major world city.
It's sort of influenced by Bangkok in a way, but I also happen to watch Blade Runner too many times in a year, and that's what spilled out.
Joseph is showing you the world as he sees it from his travels, experiences many people might have had in their teens or 20s, visiting iconic destinations, dropping the bag off as soon as you arrive and getting straight out into the action.
Yeah, it's mostly about being quite tired, to be honest. I think as people get older, generally speaking, they get more set in their ways, and they find their sort of what their style is, and they paint it and they stay with it. Whereas I'm still trying to figure it out a bit, so I'm just sort of painting anything with the materials I have available to me at the time. I think it doesn't really matter too much. I think some of these older people are actually really good artists and offer much more unique perspectives on things that I could never come up with because they have so many just years of experience on me of just seeing the world and painting it.
He's 24 this weekend, the youngest exhibitor in the Arts Centre's recent gallery programme. His choice of materials different. Many mature artists might pick pastoral scenes.
I do appreciate all these typical sort of pastel, very mellow things, but I think it's good for Shaftesbury to occasionally see something that maybe frightens them a bit, challenges the mind a little bit. I have done there's some nice landscapes here as well, but no, the focus for me is sort of just bringing something new in.
Where did your art start? Did you go to college?
So I didn't even take it at GCSE or anything. I started it about 2 years ago out of coming back from travelling and just being a bit bored in a gap between coming back and starting work properly. So unemployment.
Well, I mean, it's interesting. Did art inspire your travels then? Did you go around galleries? Did you see somebody's work that thought, I can do that?
Honestly, I wasn't that interested in it before. I definitely went to quite a few galleries and things because a lot of my friends are quite into their art. But I think I was just silently taking it in. That sort of thing. More museums than art places, to be honest.
So it was always there until you opened the bottle and now it flows out?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know where it comes from, but I just sort of paint without really any consideration in a way. I'm very relaxed and I just sort of apply paint until things look right, and when they're right they end up here, I guess.
So what gives you your satisfaction when you start work on a piece and you finish a piece, you haven't sort of repainted it or ripped it up and started again, you stand back and admire your work. What are you seeing that makes you proud?
I think the thing that makes me proud is even though I'm not trained or anything, I quite like the colour palettes I use for some stuff, and I can step back and I go, oh, they're good colours. I don't pay too much consideration towards the actual, the structure of the painting or what's included in it. It's normally just the colours that get me.
Do you have to be trained? I mean, there are some rules of art, but some very successful artists break those rules. And you could argue that a lot of art is quite intuitive. You can go and study the lessons, but you won't have the passion, the love, the feel of it that somebody who's got it within them, even if you follow the steps, because that's just painted by numbers, isn't it?
Yeah, I had a conversation with someone earlier, and we sort of came to the conclusion that anyone can do art. It's just about whether you personally have the time to dedicate towards it. It's like any skill. If you do it enough, you'll pick it up. Some people have, maybe a 5% advantage, but 40 hours here and there over the course of a few years will put you at your own advantage. So anyone can take it up.
You can see what Bourton-based artist Joseph Damar has achieved with his second exhibition at the Shaftesbury Arts Centre Gallery, open every day until Tuesday from 10 till 4.